everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do the 25 bookish facts about me tag. I have seen these videos circulating booktube and they are just so fun. I love learning about people's bookish habits and, you know, the weird things we do as bookish people. Anyway, I thought I would join in on the fun, and so without further ado, the facts. Number 1, I am not an escapist reader. I feel like a lot of people I know who are really into bookish things typically read to escape the real world. They kind of go to books when they're in their stressed state. And I am not like that. I kind of wish I was like that, but when I'm stressed or I'm having a hard week, I usually just go to Netflix, Gilmore Girls, I don't know. The second bookish fact about me is that when I finish a book that I really love, sometimes I will do this really weird thing where I will try to find a song that is inspired by that book or reminds me of that book in some way. I'm not really into the whole fandom thing, but I will kind of try to come up with a playlist or something that reminds me of this book so I can kind of get through my reading slump. One of my favorite songs inspired by a book is by this Danish folk band that I found after I finished ELEANOR Park by Rainbow Rowell. It is just so beautiful, and there should be more songs inspired by books in the world. So all of you musicians should get on that. Number 3 is that I am a chronic book starter and I'm a mood reader. So I'm reading like 5 books right now. The fourth bookish fact about me is that I hardly ever finish a series. It's so hard for me to finish a series. I'm sensing a trend in this video that I have commitment issues, and I'm just gonna have to work through that a little bit. Number 5, I take a book with me everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere I take a book with me, I do. Number 6, my beverage of choice is coffee, always, black coffee, or if I'm feeling fancy, I'll have some whiskey with my book. Booze and books works great. The 7th bookish fact about me is that I read my Kindle about 50% of the time, and that is because I typically read at night and my husband goes to sleep before me and the lights are off, so I have to do my reading, and it's dark, and that's sad. So I have a little book light, and I have my Kindle, and all is well. Number 8, I once went to school to be a children's librarian, and then realized that most children's librarians deal with people, and they don't actually get to read books all day, and that wasn't quite as appealing to me. Number 9, I get weirdly shy around people when I'm reading in public and they ask me what I'm reading. I don't know why. I like to read around people, but I have my reading bubble, you know? Like, don't get up in my space, you know? I also feel really shy about approaching people when they're reading, even if they're reading a book that I love and I feel like we could be best friends. I feel like a lot of booktubers will talk about going up to someone and just having this like impulse to tell them what they should read, and I am not one of those people. I get shy. Number 10, this one's a doozy. I am reading the Harry Potter series for the first time ever right now. So I talked a little bit in my last video about how I was a reluctant reader growing up, and so I didn't read a lot of the children's classics that everyone read and fell in love with. So I am reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire right now, and I'm loving it. I am loving it, but the problem is I'm reading through the series really slowly because I think I'm like mourning the fact that I didn't read it as a kid. It's just hard. Life's hard sometimes. Number 11, audiobooks are hit or miss for me. Sometimes I absolutely love them. I'm listening to The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman right now, and he's the narrator, so it's absolutely fantastic. But I've listened to other audiobooks before that I just haven't loved, and it kind of kills the story for me. Amory talks about this in one of her videos, and I'll link it down below because I agree with the whole thing. Number 12, I was a serious diary keeper as a child. I would record every little tiny detail of my life. Like what I ate for dinner, everything. Actually, I'm packing things up because I'm preparing to move, and I found a bucket of old diaries, and it's been so fun to go through them. Number 13, I love writing in my books. I will leave sticky notes, I will dog-ear pages, And I love reading other people's notes. Like if I borrow a book or if I buy a book at a secondhand bookstore, I love to find other people's thoughts about a book because it's like you get to see how a book takes on a second life, you know? And it's just fun to feel connected to another reader that way. Number 14, I don't organize my bookshelf at all. Like not even a little bit. One day, maybe I will. Maybe you have suggestions, help me. Number 15 is that I've never read a graphic novel, ever. And I'm really sad about that and I wanna change it. So maybe I'll do like a vlogging thing one day and go on a graphic novel reading journey and you can give me all your recommendations. Number 16, coming of age stories are my absolute favorite kind of stories to read. Perks of Being a Wallflower was one of the first books that got me into reading and I absolutely adore it, and the movie, it's just my favorite. Number 17, lazy Saturday mornings in bed with a book and waffles is pretty much me in my natural habitat. Number 18, I don't like to know a whole lot about a book before I start it. I like to just kind of dive in, you know, blind date. It's good, it's all good. Number 19, I have to put my phone in another room when I'm reading or I will just get too distracted. And ironically, I get distracted on Bookstagram or BookTube. 20, I can't read super scary stories before I go to bed or I will not sleep. Number 21, I do not really see myself in the characters that I read about. I will relate to them in some ways, but I don't typically insert myself into a story. Number 22, I really want it to be socially acceptable to go out in large groups and have reading parties. Just read together with friends. Why can't that happen? Why can't that be a thing? Number 23, I will read in the bathtub and or the pool. I ain't scared. Number 24, I cry a lot in books, obviously in sad books. But I don't laugh that often, like laugh out loud when I'm reading a book, and I don't know what that says about me. Number 25, I absolutely judge a book by its cover. So that's it, guys, my 25 bookish facts about me. Hopefully you don't think I'm too weird, or maybe you do, I don't know, it's bound to come out sooner or later. I'd love to know how you like to read. What are your bookish facts? What are your bookish habits? Tell me all the things, and hopefully you will stick around for the next video. Bye.